So there was a county fair every year in our town, and I loved the tilt-a-whirl. And my sister went on the tilt-a-whirl with me, and I remember seeing a man in a white cowboy hat just standing in the dust, just staring at us for some reason. And my sister noticed I kept looking at that one spot, and she's like, "What are you looking at? There's nobody there." And I'm like, "Don't you see the guy in the hat?" And she's like, "No." And I was like looking straight at him. And I mean, she could be gaslighting a little bit. She's a little nuts too, but she really wasn't. She was completely bewildered that, what are you even seeing? And I started to realize that maybe some of my imaginary friends were a little more independent of me than my other friends' imaginary friends. I'm Diana Rajchel. I am a psychic life coach in San Francisco. I grew up in Northwest Indiana, and there's a lot of family dysfunction, a lot of alcoholism, a lot of abuse, a lot of generational abuse. And my mom went through a phase of there's no such thing as ghosts, as spirits from making bunny ears and flipping her off behind her. I mean, I had support I would not have had without these abilities, especially in that household. My choice was either eventually let my mother wear me down like most narcissists do, or get the fuck out. I got the fuck out. So after I moved to California, I started working for a shop called The Mystic Dream every Friday. But as I built up my clientele, I was starting to realize that the typical psychic reader approach wasn't actually helping people. With most psychic readers, and they may use cards, crystals, reading your aura, whatever, they will give you their interpretation. I take it a step further in that I go, okay, here's what you've asked, here are the goals you have, now let's see how we can get this reading to work with your goals and make a plan to get there. I try to use these skills to help people develop the futures they would like to have. What goes through my mind is kind of a free association state. I do rely a lot on more what I feel in my body, and my brain will just spit things out. And so when I'm looking over their cards and I'm thinking about their question, it is very holistic in that I'm looking at what the tarot cards especially are showing me their environments, both internal and external. And my first concern is always the internal environment. What goes on in the inside of the person if you can change that, it makes dramatic changes in what goes on in the outside life. I don't really enjoy doing the, is a man coming? I'm like, what are you going to do with him when you find him? Honestly. But also, I wasn't getting a lot of the normal questions that readers do. They'll, is money coming? Is love coming? These are the normal ones. I get, why am I still in pain? I think I've had some really heartbreaking ones, like one where, okay, my husband has Alzheimer's, what do I do now? It's people that kind of fall between the cracks with the healing and things we have established in society. And so I'm there to kind of create something for them, with them, to help with those areas that what we have just doesn't cover. Every time I try to take a break from it, something comes and finds me that is significant enough that I have to get involved. It's The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they drag me back in. And that's really, even if I take a normal job someday again, or I start writing something mainstream, if I'm even capable of that, because technically my full-time job is a writer, but really that's not where my real work is. Not anymore. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life.